Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 212 for Quranic Arabic Grammar, in which we are learning Sarf and Nahu of Suratul Qalam. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are going to start with a quick review of what we have covered in our last session, inshallah. I hope you're all ready, and inshallah, we will be able to achieve our learning objectives, which include the following that you can see on my screen. There are 3 columns, and this is all that we have covered before. With few additions, I think there are a couple of additions, but rest we have, alhamdulillah, covered in our previous sessions. Okay, so you can all see and wow al hal, and wow ma, and wow is, muadeu hasful mubtada, muadeu ba za'ida, and wow idha, and wow lamma, jumla waqiatan mudafan ilayhi, and wow sifa, and wow lawla, and wow silatul mawsul, and wow munada, and this is a new one, and wow lamu tawkid, and wow hal, and there's something I added to it, which is hal sababi, and this will be new for some of you. Anwau an, anwau in, haruf masdariya, taqdeem wa ta'khir, and anwau lam. These are our learning objectives. This is what we are going to go over in the upcoming sessions and in this session for Suratul Qalam, inshallah. So let's come back. We have covered few verses from Suratul Qalam already, and I just want to make sure that you have understood them well, and I'm going to ask you 2 questions. So in the first verse of Suratul Qalam, how many types of wow are there? You are seeing 3 vows here. If you can kindly tell me the types, there are 3, alhamdulillah. The first was, okay, so the first is harf jar, right? Wow al-qasmiya, right? The second one, we are calling it wow at, which is again a harf. So there are 2 harfs so far. Then when you go on to look at yasturun, there is wow al-jama'a, wow al-jama'a, and this is it also a harf? Do we also consider it a harf? No, it is not a harf. It is an ism, it is a pronoun, it is going to tell you it is, who did the action, right? Every fail has a pronoun, either it's going to be visible or mustatir. Here it is not, it is visible, it is baris, and this is damir muttasil baris wabil jama'a, which is our pronoun, and it is telling us that they masculine did this action, right? Okay, and now when it comes to the, now you, everyone is okay with the number of vows? Anyone disagree with what 3 sisters are saying or 4 sisters are saying? You all agree that there are 3 types of vow, 2 harf, and then the last one that we are seeing in yasturuna is an ism, right? Now when you look at this verse, the first verse of Suratul Qalam, you are seeing ma, right? And this is the type of ma that we call Mawsula, right? And when you talk about ma al Mawsul, is it a harf or an ism? It is an ism and it has a status, therefore, and it is going to be jar bil at, right? Because from al qalam, the status got transferred over to ma, right? Now, if it is an ism, do you remember the names for ma, the names for the ma that are asma, all the ma's that are asma and are ism? Sister Faiza, do you want to unmute yourself, or you're fine with just typing them? Typing is good. Okay, so first I have seen after ma al mawsula, the other ma that comes up as an ism is ma al istifhamiya, ma al ibham, ma al ibhamiya. Very good job. Then ta'ajubiya, Very well done. Ma ta'jubiya, that we have just covered with our af'alu ta'ajjub. Okay. Then there is mal waqiya. Very good job. And mal waqiya commonly seen with what? Where do we see? Ma shartiya. Ma'ul waqiya is seen with our special af'al that are af'alu dham wal madh, and they are ni'ma, bi'sa, sa'a, right? And those are your jamid, filul madh, wazam, and ma'ul waqiya or ma'ashayya can be seen with that. And then you have told me that there is ma'ashartiya. So let's just see if we have covered all in this, So ma'al istifhamia, you all told me that when it comes to ma'al ismiya, it is further subclassified into ma al-istifhamia, ma al-shartiya, ma al-mawsula, ma al-ta'jubiya, ma al-ibhamiya, ma al-waqiya, and or ma al-shaiya. Very, very well done. I'm so proud of you. Alhamdulillah. Very well done. Okay. So when it comes to ma al-mawsula, you already have covered that it is followed by silatul mawsul, right? Ma al-mawsula always has silatul mawsul. Among these types that I have just shown you, among the other rest of the types, do we see any sila after al-istifhamia or al-shartiya or anything after tajubiya or al-ibhamia or al-waqiya? No, there is no sila following them, right? They are not, there is no sila following them, okay? So, okay. So now let's just come back and silatul mawsul, always keep in mind it can be. Some may call it mal masdariya, and then they take the whole chunk as and treat it as masdarul muawwal and say that this whole chunk is jar in status. Yes, yes. If I call it ma al masdariya, how many types of ma al masdariya are there? Now you brought this, so I'm going to ask you. Alhamdulillah. Very well done, Faiza. There are alhamdulillah. Yes, very well done. So there is one. Okay, I did not realize that Faiza's answers are coming directly to me. So I was thinking that you all are also seeing her answers. But alhamdulillah, she has already answered. So rest of the class, please increase your speed, inshallah. Okay. So ma, that is masdariya, can be ma masdariya zamaniya and ma masdariya ghair zamaniya. If it has to do anything with time, it is going to be az-zamaniya, masdariya az-zamaniya, and it's going to be translated as long as. Can this be treated as long as? What do you think? Can it be masdariya az-zamaniya? So it is the other type, right? So on our slide, it is ma al-masdariya, which is ghair zamaniya. Okay, it is ma al-masdariya ghair zamaniya, and this together with its, you can consider that this is going to be its fail that is following it, and they together can make masdarul muawwal, and you can just treat it as the whole masdarul muawwal as jar. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Does it answer your question, Sister Rabiha? You have clear understanding? Alhamdulillah. Okay, alhamdulillah. So this verse, I don't think there is anything that has been covered and that was on the list of our objectives today. I don't think there is anything there that we have not covered, right? So alhamdulillah, let's just go back to our verse number 2. In verse number 2, we went over ma, right? Ma anta. And this, when I asked you this ma, everyone knows which side this belong to on our slide. Is it harf or an ism? If it is ma nafiya, it is going to be considered harf. Very well done. It is a harf, and among the 3 types, the name for this ma is going to be there are 3 types of ma that are used for negation. If ma is negating jumlatul failure, the ma is named ma nafiya ghair amila. Ma nafiya ghair amila if it is negating jumlatul failure. If your ma is negating if your ma is negating jumlatul ismiya, it can be ma nafiya amila, or it can be ma nafiya muhmila. Since here our khabar is attached with ba and our ma is seemingly working like laysa, so we are going to call this ma as ma. Is this very well done, Zarina, very well done. So it is ma al-hijaziya because it has ba attached to its khabar. It has ba za'ida attached to its khabar. Therefore, we are calling it ma al-hijaziya. The other proof that it is ma al-hijaziya is that mubtada is in the beginning. Mubtada is not muakhar. And also, I am not seeing any illa between mubtada and khabar. Those were the points I wanted you to understand and memorize by heart, right? And this is how you are going to keep that in mind, okay, inshallah, that the khabar is where it's supposed to be, the ism is where it's supposed to be. So now you are going to call anta, it's not going to be called mubtada. Now I'm going to call it ismuma, and the khabar is going to be khabruma. The khabruma is because it has a ba zaida attached, it's going to be majroor lafzan mansoob muhallan. The ba zaida, your very cute little ba. Have we ever learned just recently this ba zaida in any other concepts that you have been covering? The ba zaida. You see it with ma, you see it with the khabar of ma and laysa. Do we see it anywhere else, or these are the only two places? Man? Okay, very well done, Aisha. So she is saying, so my student from the class is saying that ba zaida can be seen with ta'ajjub. Ba zaida can be seen with ta'ajjub. So which construction was that where you were able to see ba zaida? So let me show you. Okay, 1 second, and give me just a second while you are thinking and typing. I will try to show you where have you seen this very ba and the additional places for the ba as well, inshallah, if I'm able to pull the slide. Bismillah. Okay, here we are. Okay, so just recently you have covered. Okay, so you have seen af'al bih. Do you remember that? As af'il bih, asmih bihim wa absir. Do we all remember our af'alu ta'ajjub, right? Those were qiyasi. Those were the standard af'alu ta'ajjub that Arabs use to express the wonder, the amazement, the surprise, right? There you have seen ba zaida, and there it is attached to the file, if you remember. Do you all remember that it attaches itself to the file, right? Do you ever see ba zaida attached to the file of fail kafa? Do you remember seeing it? Kafa billahi waliya. Allah is enough. So I am writing here, it is wajib to have ba zaida with file of af'il. Okay, with the file of af'il, fi'lut ta'ajjub, af'il, it is wajib to bring ba zaida. It's, with some exceptions, it is wajib to bring ba zaida. Okay, are you all getting my point? Ba zaida is going to be always there, with one exception. Okay, with one exception, ba zaida is going to be there wujuban. Okay, when it comes to kafa, when it comes to kafa, it is jais to bring ba zaida with a file. So how do you know? So if you don't see ba zaida with the file of kafa, will you be okay with that? Yes, they are different. Kafa is a fail, kaifa is an ism. Kaifa is an ism istifham, which means how. Kafa means to be sufficient, to be enough, and it is a fail. Okay? So kafa billahi, Allah is sufficient. waliya as a wali. Make sense? So there are two places where you are seeing ba za'ida with a fail. Ma'al fa'il, ma'a, you have heard of it? Ma'a. Have you ever covered this word when we were very little in our kindergarten class? Right? Special mudaf, ma'a, right? So sometimes you see ba zaida with maf'ul, with what is expected to be the maf'ul, has this ba zaida attached to it, okay? And I have a couple of examples from Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Maryam. Can you all see that? If you all see that, type 1. Then we covered khabruma, khabru laysa, and khabrula. They can all have ba zaida attached to them, okay? So when it comes to khabru la, what type of la will it be that will have ba zaida attached to its khabar? Can anyone remind me? So the ma is there, the laysa is there. So this la, should it be the type of la that behaves like laysa? Do you all remember that type of la? Yes. Barakallahu fikuma, Faiza, Zarina, and everyone. Barakallahu fikum. Actually, the whole class remembers. So I hope. So inshallah. So the la that works like laysa, just like the ma works like laysa and has a khabar that is mansoob, there is a la that we have covered that works like laysa, and it can have ba zaida attached to its khabar. Okay. So when I was teaching you tawkid, ma'nawi, I taught you that there can be ba zaida attached to your mu'akkid, okay? The ba zaida can attach itself to the tawkid. We have covered this, okay? Can how about whom? I don't understand your question. Supervisor? Hum? I don't. Can it come with that? No, I don't know what this. How about dash? I don't know that. What does that mean? I don't know. In, are you? Oh, you are asking about in. Perhaps it can. Perhaps it can, but I have no. I have basically. Mostly you will see when you are talking about nafi and the words that work like laysa. Commonly, the words that we tend to learn are ma, la, lata. So those are the words that are commonly taught in classes. Okay, yeah. So no, no, no. When something is married to something, that is another thing. That does not mean that cannot be an equivalent of that. That should not be that. No, you cannot say if a fail is supposed to come with a certain harf, then that harf that is supposed to be married to that fail is going to be the zaida harf. No, no, it should not be that. Most of the books, they may they will say that how you will see it. Let me tell you, for example, you may see it being labeled as bad as majroor lafzan mansub mahallan li'annahu maf'ulun bihi and by zaida. Okay, they will mention that by zaida, and therefore this word is maf'ul, is mahallan mansub because it is maf'ulun bihi, or this word is mansub mahallan because it is maf'ulun bihi for the fi'l. For example, I cannot say amana billahi billahi by zaida. No, that is not the case. Is it clear? Alhamdulillah. So, and there are certain ways, how things are treated differently by different grammarians. So keep that in mind too. Okay. Sometimes things may be treated differently by different scholars. So that is why there were 10, the list of 10 places where you can see ba zaida. I just brought to you what is relevant for us in our sessions. So I just left whatever was not meaningful or is not going to be very applicable for the purpose of my class, because we are basically focusing on Quranic Arabic grammar. So we will mainly restrict ourselves to Quranic Arabic grammar. If I see something being used in hadith very much, then I try to bring it for you. Okay, it's just like I have the next example. So kaifa bikum. This ba is going to be ba zaida. So if I'm calling this ba zaida, how will you put i'rab on this sentence, which is how are you? How will you put i'rab on this sentence if this is ba zaida? Any answers? Anyone want to try? This is rough, very well done. So kaifa antum. This was kaifa antum, right? This was kaifa antum, but there is a ba zaida there. Okay? Is this clear? So antum, this kum is majroor lafzan marfu mahallan because it is a mubtada, and kaifa is a khabar. Is this clear to all of you? Everyone? Okay, so this was kaifa bikum. I'm calling this ba zaida. I'm calling this ba zaida. I'm calling this ba zaida. So if it was in original form, kaifa antum. How are you all? How are you all? With kaifa being the khabar muqaddam and antum being mubtada muakhar. Because kaifa is ism istifham, for it is sadara min al-kalam, right? It is the word that is always going to be in the beginning. But it is, position-wise, it is a khabar. And antum is mubtada muakhar. Ba zaida got attached to it and made it bikum. Okay? Clear, Faiza? Okay. Should we move forward? And there is a word that is there, hasbu, kalima hasbu. Sometimes you do see ba zaida attached to it. Okay, but I don't see many examples, so I'm not used much in Quran. I should not even, it's, I should not write that. I will just delete it, and I'm just going to word it. Okay. No, kaifa is sister. Kaifa is going to be fi mahalli rafa khabar. Okay. And we have not covered that. We have not covered kaifa yet, the asmaul istifham. When we are going to learn the details of asmaul istifham, inshallah, this will be very clear at that point, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. So for now, you are just going to call kaifa your khabar, and bikum is your jar wal majroor, and kum is majroor lafzan marfu mahallan. Okay. So there are, the ones that are relevant to us are ma'al fa'il, ma'al maf'ul, and basically ma'al nafi, ma'al tawkid. And tawkid also is not seen in, this type of tawkid is not commonly seen in Quran. So, for the most part, you need to know that it is wajib. It is wajib to have ba zaida with the fa'il of fi'lu ta'ajjub, af'il. It is jais to bring ba zaida, to attach ba zaida to the fa'il of fail kafa. Ba zaida can be seen with khabru ma, khabru laysa. These are the ones that we commonly see in Quran, right? So keep that in mind, inshallah. So now I hope this was your qasam, and this was your jawabul qasam, and I hope everyone was okay with that. This was not something that was confusing to any of you. That's what at least I thought. So when it comes to adwatul qasam, just for the purpose of this surah, I want you to know your adwatul qasam are of 3 types. They are not just waw, ba, and ta. They are of 3 types. They can be a harf, they can be an ism, and they can be a fi'l. Now let's come back. وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونَ. Everyone must know there is a waw here. I hope everyone was okay with calling it waw atf, and this is the part of whatever was before. The status of the sentence when it is jawabul qasam. The jawabul qasam is always what in status? What is the status of jawabul qasam? La mahalla laha, right? La mahalla laha min al-i'rab. If a sentence is la mahalla, if ma'tuf alayhi is la mahalla, what happens to ma'tuf? it's going to follow the status. Is inna laka la ajran ghayra mamnoon la mahalla because of at or because it is jawabul qasam? Because of atf. And this is, I cannot emphasize it enough. And this is so much important for you all. In all these sentences, when it comes to lamu tawkid, I have taught you 3 types of lamu tawkid. That lam that is seen with inna, can anyone remind me? There is the lam that is going to be seen with inna is going to be lamul muzahlaqa. Lamul muzahlaqa. If this very lam was attached to the mubtada of the sentence, what is the name then? Lamul ibtida. If I see lam after in, if I see lam after in, lamul, lamul fariqa. Lamul fariqa, right? Because it is going to tell me that this in was on diet and has reduced its weight and has lost one of its noon, and it was actually inna, right? It was actually inna, and it is telling me, the lam there is telling me, don't confuse this in with in shartiya. This in is not shartiya, this in is not in nafiya, right? This is not nafi, not shart, it is in mukhaffafa min inna thaqila. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then I have covered this far, and I told you that this could be either, you can call it istinaf, and if I'm going to call it istinaf, the sentence following it is going to be la mahalla. If I'm calling it a jawab to ash, it is that fa'u rabita, the jawabu shart muqaddar, and there was a sentence before it that is embedded in this fa. And if the shart particle was in, the status of this one is going to be fi mahalli jazmin, and we already covered it. The sentence following it, we called it, this sentence, can we call it, what did we label it as? فَسَتُبْصِرُ وَيُبْصِرُونَ. So you will see and they will see. بِأَيِّكُمُ الْمَفْتُونَ. So this is, we called it, that this whole sentence, if I call it the whole, if I treat it as a whole sentence, I'm going to call it mafulun bihi, for whatever has been mentioned before, considering tubsiru is being used in the meaning of alima, Can I say that this whole sentence is fi mahalli nasbin, sadda masadda, to the previous sentence? Yes, tubsiru, you will see and they will see, right? And that's why the sentence is nasbin status, because it is coming up as a detail for a fail mentioned before. Okay, then we went over inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu. So here there was a huwa, and we have covered this huwa very many times. We can call it damirul fasl, and in that case we can call it al-tawkid la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, or we can call it damir munfasil, and that both ways it's going to be correct, right? And this can be considered as khabru inna fi mahalli raf'in. If I ask my dear sisters, verse number 7, the last part, what is the status of this jumla ismiya huwa a'lamu bil muhtadin? What is the status, my dear sisters? Aisha, what is the status? It is going to be same meaning what? It is rafin status. It is rafin status because, very well done Aisha, it is marfu because of atf. Whatever is the status of the first sentence, it's going to follow that sentence in status. Okay, always remember, whatever is the status of matuf alayhi, matuf is going to follow. And when you are going to do sentences, the sentences that have status and sentences that don't have status, atf comes in both, right? the sentence that is matuf comes in both. If the sentence has no matuf alayhi has no status, matuf is going to have no status. If matuf alayhi has a status because it is fi mahalli raf'in khabar, then your matuf is also going to get a status which is going to be the same as the status of the previous sentence. Then comes your fala tuti'il mukazzibin. And here we call la nahya, right? Among the different types of la, this is it active la, or is it an amila kind of a la, or is it passive? What do you think? It is an amila kind of a la, right? It brings a change to what is following it. It made mudari majzoom bisukun, right? And this kasra is just for al-taqai sakinain, and this was already covered. And this fa again can be after knowing all this, you can call it again that this can be fa for rabita, for jumla shartiya mahzoof. And when you know everything, then don't obey al-mukazzibin, those who belie, right? That it can be for rabita, right? And we have covered that. Then comes a sentence that was very interesting, and I hope you all remember the types of ya that have been covered in our course. Al-mukazzibin, the name of the ya, I have taught you in the last session. We have gone over it. Ya is going to be, what is the name for the ya? Yaul Arab, Yaul Arab, right? Because this is the ya that tells us the status, because it has to do with the status, right? So since it has to do with the status, this ya is going to be called Yaul Arab. And you have covered Yaul Mutakallim, Yaul Muqataba, Yaul Arab, Yaul Nisba, and Yaul Mudari, right? Do we see any Yaul Mudari so far? How many times in these verses have you come across Yaul Mudari? Just tell me the verse numbers. Verse number 1 has Yasturun, which is Yaul Mudariya, right? And then Yubsirun has Yaul Mudari, right? Yaul Mudari is going to be madmoom. In which condition? What are the conditions that make Yaul Mudari madmoom? 4-letter rule, yes. And then there's another condition, which is we all know, when the either the past tense has 4 letters, or Mudari is majhool, right? When Mudari is majhool, you will have the ya sign is going to be madmuma with a dhamma on it. Or when your past tense has 4 letters in it, waswasa yuwaswisu, akhbara yukhbiru, aslama yuslimu, allama yuallimu, jahada yujahidu, right? Okay, so now I am going to seriously do verse number 9. And waddu was followed by jumlatul failure, followed by allahu, which you are calling. Sister Faiza has given me the name for this law. Yes, and Sister Rabiha has also given me the name, and that is law masdariya. Law masdariya. Is there any giveaway for law masdariya in this verse that that will help you? Yes, Alhamdulillah, in my previous sessions, this is a slide from my previous sessions, my dear sisters, and this was what I have taught you in the past. When law is after fail, wadda yawaddu, it can be law masdariya. Do you all see this statement there? If you have memorized this statement, determining the type of law is going to be very, very easy, because it changes everything. Because if law is shart, can you call that law making masdarul mu'awwal with whatever is following it? No, it does not do so, right? But when it comes to law al-masdariya, when it is acting like a masdar particle, the whole thing, masdarul mu'awwal, is going to be acting like, behaving like an ism, is going to be behaving like an ism, and this is going to be maf'ulun bihi for waddu. Its meaning, in this case, the law has a meaning of an. Do you all remember that? I have mentioned it not on my slides, but I did mention when I was teaching you that it will have meaning of an-masdariya. Okay? It will have a meaning of an-masdariya. Waddu law tudhinu. They wish you would that you would soften. Fayudhinun. Then they would soften in their stance or in their, pursuit or whatever they are trying to do. So fa is going to be, the type of fa here is going to be, what is the type of fa, my dear sisters? No, think about it. Tudhinu, fa yudhinun. No, make it, no, if it was, no, my dear sisters, one action is happening and after that there is another action happening. There is no shart here. We are not calling this low shartiya. If there is this farabita is seen with shart, right? Farabita is seen with shart. So this is now is masdariya. It is masdariya. And we are going to call this atf, and this sentence is matuf on whatever sentence on the sentence mentioned before, right? Are you all getting my point? Can it be sababiya? Can this fa be sababiya? Why not? I'm seeing because the mudari after is marfu with fa as sababiya. You see it being followed by, it has an-mudbira after it, which makes mudari mansoob. But the mudari after it is not nasbin status, so this cannot be sababiya. It is simply one action followed by other action. You do this, I'm going to, if you be and if you soften your position, I would do so. So this is one action happening after another action. Isn't not telling you tartib wa taqib? Is it not that? Don't you think that this is the sequence of action is being narrated in this verse? And if somebody has different point of opinion or if somebody says otherwise, I don't have any problems with that. Okay, so they would, yeah. So also keep in mind, yes, you have to, that is the whole purpose of coming to the class. Otherwise, there was no point, right? If you have to make and the understanding entirely based on translation, that does not serve the purpose, right? You are in the grammar class so that you know the depth that is hidden in these words, in these translations. The translation cannot tell you the entire, it's going to give you as good of a picture as it can, but then there are things beyond. Quran is very deep. It's just like an ocean, and you have to pick those gems from this ocean and you have to get to it. And in this very short life of ours, we are going to get to a very small part of it, in terms of understanding, or no matter how hard we try. Okay. But yeah, so that is the whole point. Do you all getting are you all with me that this low tudhinu is masdar al muawwal fi mahalli nasbin mafulin bihi for fail waddu. Fa is going to be atifa. Yudhinun is matuf on tudhinu. Always remember, when I asked you a status of the tudhinu, if I give you word tudhinu by itself, do you know what its status is going to be? But that's the status of the fail. If I give you a jumla that is following any harf masdariya, and no, don't type Faiza. Just try to now understand this. This masdar al-muawwal is nasbin status. You try to understand this now. And this is something that I try to keep out of the picture, because for some it's understanding it is very hard, but I'm going to now bring it today. When you have masdar haruf masdariya together with masdar haruf masdariya, the whole chunk masdar al-muawwal has a status just like any ism. But what follows, like if I asked you what is the status of tudhinu, especially when there is a fail coming up as before after haruf masdariya. In this case, you will find that you in your Arab books as well. This is going to be the sentence mudare marfu is la mahalla laha min al i'rab. Okay, because it is a sila to harf harf masdari. Okay, because it is a sila of harf masdari, and the same is the I'm going to show you more examples like here by itself. Yes, turun. If you treat this ma masdariya as masdariya, still it is going to be yasturun is going to be la mahalla laha min al i'rab. When you treat it together, the whole masdar al muawwal is jar in status, but even when you treat ma as masdariya, when ma is mausula or masdariya, the sila, the whatever is following the harf masdari or ism mausul is going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Yeah, just like silatul mausul has no i'rab, sila of haruf masdari, sila of haruf masdariya is also la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Did you all get this? Aisha, Faiza, where is Sister Zohra? I'm not seeing her answers. Is she in the class? Yeah, you just, I'm just saying it like a sila. It's just think it's something attached to it, no? Something that is sila means something that is attached to it, right? Okay, that's fine. I got it. She has an appointment. So I hope this is clear to all of you. But for, if you don't, even if you don't understand this, keep that in mind. Your masdarul muawwal, what is your masdarul muawwal? It is fi mahalli nasbin, right? If it is tudhinu by itself, you are going to say that this is the sila of my harf masdari. It is la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, and based on you calling and I calling this fa as an atf, what will be the status of yudhinun by itself? If it is matuf ala tudhinu, if it is matuf ala tudhinu, it is going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Okay, it is going to be la mahalla. Okay, I hope now this is clear, and I'm going to show you more examples and things will be more clear, inshallah. Okay, now let's just go on to do verse number 10. Wala tuti, wow is going to be your atf. Do you all call, will you all call this atf? Okay, this is Faiza is agreeing with me. Okay, what about the rest of the sisters? Can it be atf? Okay, la, what type of la are we seeing here? Nahiya. Nahiya, because mudare again is majzoom after it. Okay, because it is followed by mudare that is majzoom bisakun. So la is nahiya. In tuti, file is damir mustatir anta. In this one, file is damir mustatir anta. Right? Al mukazzibina was mafulun bihi here. Here mafulun bihi is kulla. Kulla, right? Mafulun bihi is kulla. So now, if I asked you, what is the ma'tuf alayhi for wala tuti? What do you think is a ma'tuf alayhi? Ayah number 8. Very well done. Very well done. Wala tuti, fala tuti al-mukazzibin, wala tuti. So what is this sentence doing in between? Okay, so it is jumla. Sister Faiza is thinking. Sister Faiza is thinking that this is motarida. Can it be jumla to ta'liliya? Both sentences, it can be etrad, present between two grammatically connected sentences, or it can be jumla to ta'liliya. If it is jumla to ta'liliya, what is the status of waddu law tudhinu what fayudhinun? It is la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. If it's jumlatul itradiyya, interjection, what is the status? In both cases, it is going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, and this is among those sentences which are la mahalla laha min al-i'rab. Please keep those things in mind. Don't forget whatever we have covered in the past, okay? So, and now, you understand, if I am going to call this fi mahalli jasmin, because this could be my fa rabita, following it is a jawabu shart, this sentence is going to be fi mahalli jasmin as well, right? Because of waw atf, right? And then kulla hilafin is a idafa, and maheen, and all this up until this is going to be the sifas and of halaf, right? Manna'in, masha'im bi namim. This is masha'im bi namim. Jar wal majroor mutalik bil masha'in. Manna'in lil khair mutalik bil manna'in. Mu'tadin, another sifa. Asim, another sifa. Utulin, utulim, ba'da zalika zanim. Ba'da zalika can be connected to zanim. Is this all clear to all of you? And you're seeing sigatul mubalagha, right? You're seeing sigatul mubalagha, hammaz, masha'in, manna'in, then mu'tadin. What type of is this? Is this sigatul mubalagha or something else? The mu'tadin. This is starting with mim dhamma. This is starting with mim dhamma, has extra ta in it as well. It is ism file. Yes, very well done, Zarina. Very good job. A theme, you can call it sifa mushabba. Utulin, sifa mushabba, right? Zanim, sifa mushabba, right? So a lot of sifas and on mubalagha and sifa pattern, right? Now let's look at verse number 14. Are you all ready with for verse number 14? An kana za malin wa banin. Let's just finish the kana za. Kana. Again, Faiza. Jumla ismiya. It's fail, naqis, nasikh, madin. واسمه كان ضمير مستتر हुआ. اسمه كان ضمير مستتر हुआ. Can za be اسمه كان? zu, za, zi. zu, za, zi. It is khabru kana. Zarina is absolutely right. It is nasbin started. It is khabru kana. Malin, mudaf ilayhi, waw at, banin is going to be matuf ala mal. Banin, is it jama muzakkar salim, or is it behaving like jama muzakkar salim? What's the sign of just status in banin? Yeah, yaul i'rab is there, and this is mulhiq, right? Remember, we have covered the topic of mulhiq. We just we have the singular is ibn, and banin is not, ibn, from ibn you are getting banin, so it is treated as mulhiq li jamai muzakkar salim. Okay, so this an, now let's see this an kana za malin wa banin. If I treat it like because he has mal and children and boys, so why am I treating it like this unlike because? Have you ever covered anything that any type of un that can be treated as that can be translated as because? Very well done. I'm seeing very right answers. Very well done. Good job, guys. I was hoping to trick you here. Very well done, Amina. I'm very proud of you. So no one is saying this is an-ta'liliya. So we have covered one in the past, and I have never taught you it as an-ta'liliya, but I'm just I have myself learned it as an-ta'liliya. So whenever you have an that has a meaning of ta'lil, that gives you a reason why someone is behaving or acting certain way, and it is translated as because, you always think that there is a harf jar lam that has been omitted, and this lam is lamu ta'lil that is there. Okay, do you all are you all getting my point? This li'an, when it is li'an, it means because. It is always considered that there is harf jar al-lam that is mahzufa there. Okay, that has been omitted there. For example, who can translate this verse for me? Yukhrijuna rasula wa iyyakum an tu'minu billahi rabbikum. Can you all translate this part of the verse for me? They expelled Prophet and you all because you believed in Allah, your Rabb, right? Because you believed in Allah, your Rabb. So there was, how am I going to connect it to the previous sentence? I'm going to say that there was this masdar al-mu'awwal is majroor bi harf jar lam mahzoof. Okay, that there is a lam there that has been omitted. Do you all get my point? That there was a lamu ta'lil that has been omitted, and this is the status of the masdarul mu'awwal is jar. Okay, okay. Yes, so it is li'an. Basically, you are going to consider it as li'an. Got it? Just like, when you have lamun nasiba, what is hidden after lamun nasiba? An is hidden. So sometimes what happens is la gets hidden and only an is there. An becomes visible and li gets omitted. Okay? Yes, so you think, yeah, it is basically missing its lamu ta'lil. Yeah. And that is why, do you notice every time you have linukhrija or anything linahtadiya, you always call your masdarul mu'awwal jar in status, right? Linahtadiya. If I asked you, what is the status of your masdarul mu'awwal, you always call that jar in status, right? And muta'alliq bil fi'l. Similarly, this one is fi mahalli jar, masdarul mu'awwal is fi mahalli jar bi lam mahzufa, because there's a lam that has been omitted from here, and that is bringing the meaning of because in this an, that is giving the because meaning, because there was a lam that has been omitted from here. Okay, and then the whole masdarul mu'awwal is going to be jar in status and is going to be muta'alliq bil fail yukhrijuna. Why did they expel Prophet and you all? Because you all believed in Allah, your Rabb. Clear, my dear sisters? No, there is a lam that has been omitted from there. Now you are going to, this is going to be, you are going to consider a lam, there's a lam here that has been omitted from here. Okay? Aisha? Lam has a meaning of ta'lil. Lam gives you the meaning of so that. Okay? So lam has a meaning of because in it. Right? So li'an kana za malin wa banin kazzabu bi ayatillahi li'an kana za malin wa banin, because he has mal and banin, that is why he's belying the verses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, you can consider it, you can consider it no mukazzibin, no, it cannot be connected with, no, it cannot be connected to al-mukazzibin, because that is the reason why they belie the verses, and this is not giving you the reason of why you should not follow the beliers. There is a fail that has been omitted from here. You are just going to call it that, there's a fail mahzoof here. Okay, just for now, fail mahzoof here. Okay, just to, my dear sisters, whenever I'm trying to search and bring stuff to you, I try to find the easiest i'rab. I will be giving you this disclaimer. I may have not told you before, but whatever is easiest, I try to teach you that stuff so that it is not only just, made understandable to you, it is easy to retain, easy to understand as well, inshallah. I'm not sure if I'm passing in it also, but I'm trying my best, inshallah, to keep things as simple as I can. Okay, so just you for the time being, this is muta'alliq to a fail that has been omitted. Okay, inshallah. Now I'm going to show you verse number 15. We have only 5 minutes and we have to be really good at it. Iza tutla alayhi ayatuna. Iza. Iza is belongs to which category of words? It's a zarf. And what kind of a zarf is it? It's an ism. Very good job. It's a zarf. It's ismiya, zarfiya, shartiya as well, or no? Very well done, Amina. It is zarfiya, shartiya. When you say zarfiya, that means it is ismiya as well. Ismiya, shartiya, zarfiya. When it is there, it has a mudaf ilayhi because a zarf, it is also going to act like a mudaf and it will be followed by mudaf ilayhi, which is always going to be jumla. It's mudaf ilayhi is always going to be jumla, and I want one of the sisters to tell me why idha is haisu always will be followed by a sentence as a mudaf ilayhi. What is the problem here? I'm finding an answers. I'm getting answers from Sister Faiza. I want all of you to tell me why idha always has sentence as its mudaf ilayhi. Because idha is mabni. Very well done, Rabiha. Very well done. Very proud of you. Because it is mabni, does it can it always any can it change its ending? No. Idha, haisu, lamma, kullama, they are mabni, their mudaf ilayhi is always going to be, it's always going to be, there's always going to be a sentence. Okay, so tutla, when it comes to tutla, what type of a word is tutla? It is ua. So there is talam, waw are the root letters, and it is fail mudare. Is it marfu or majzoom? What type of? It is majhul. It is majhul, and it is in terms of status of mudare. What is the status of mudare here? It is marfu in status. It is marfu in status. By when I'm just talking about fail mudare, it is marfu in status with dhammatul muqaddara alal alif. Right? There is an alif at the end, and it is carrying an implied dhamma on an alif, because alif is never going to show its fatha dhamma kasra. It's going to be always without any haraka. So, but the default status of mudare is yes, lit azur. So the default status of mudare is raf. So tutla is going to be mudare marfu with dhammatul muqaddara. And since it is it what's a pronoun in this word tutla? Is it anta tutla or hiya tutla? Hiya tutla, therefore, we are seeing an outside doer in the form of ayatuna. Alayhi is going to be muta'alliq bil fail. And this sentence, if now I'm the whole sentence, give me the status. Fi mahalli jar, because it is mudaf ilayhi for iza. This whole sentence is fi mahalli jar because it is mudaf ilayhi to iza. Qala. What is beginning? After إذا تتلى عليه آياتنا قال is جواب أساطير الأولين. After قال is جملة الفعلية. جملة الفعلية والفاعل ضمير مستتر هو مبني. It is مبني على الفتح. مبني على الفتح. And مقول القول here is أساطير الأولين. It is في محل nasbin because it is makulul qawl, right? But in this maqulul qawl, we have what is missing here? Very good job. So what is missing here? It is to be hiya asatirul awwaleen, right? Those are the stories of the previous people, right? It was supposed to be hiya asatirul awwaleen. But are you seeing hiya here? Huh? Okay. And I'm getting all the right answers. Alhamdulillah, it is permissible to omit your mubtada here. It is permissible to omit mubtada. And look at the 4 conditions where it is permissible to omit mubtada. First one, after bal. After bal, you can have no mubtada, and you may only see khabar. بل هم عباد مكرمون. You are seeing, yes, I'm so sorry. Let me just finish. Hum is mubtada, it is omitted. You are just seeing the khabar. After qala, من خلق السماوات والأرض وسخر الشمس والقمر ليقولن Allah. It was supposed to be huwa Allahu, right? He is Allah who created the skies and the earth and subdued the sun and the moon, right? But huwa has been, it is permissible to omit mubtada after fail qala, and we are going to learn more about it in our upcoming session on Saturday. I will have to end the session here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Take care, my dear sisters. Ameen wa yakum. Take care.